Somebody when we grow up, it should be this man right here. He's an entrepreneur. He's a rap aficionado. The brother is brilliant on every level. He's a boxing analyst. He's a game show host. He's got a new album coming out soon. I mean, the list goes on and on. Snoop Dogg is in the house. What's going on, my man? How are you?
Stephen A., welcome to Stephen A's world, baby. Thank you for letting me in so I can get in where I fit in.
I appreciate that, man. Listen, let me start this off on a sour note. I love my Steelers. You love the Steelers. Any explanation about what on earth happened Sunday night against the Cleveland Browns?
I think we got to make a whole regroupment with coaching, with DBs. We need a running back. We may need to look into a quarterback. It's a whole lot of things we need to do over there at the Steelers organization. We started off good, but then when we started losing key players and key defensive people to the team, it really, took us downhill. And I just felt like we had a lot of bad coaching, bad play calling. It just was a bad year for us. Despite us being 11-0 at one point, it just didn't feel right.
You say coaching. Is that you implying that they might need to look at Mike Tomlin? I mean, is that what you're saying?
No, I mean staff. I don't mean head coach.
Okay.
I mean maybe defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator. Because, the days of Dick LeBeau and Joey Porter and, Bruce Arians and, people like that on the offensive side calling great plays for us, it just feels like we're not calling plays like the NFL. Like, we're behind. It's a new era now. You got to be mobile at quarterback. You got to move the ball up the field. You got to be, trickery with your play calling. We doing the same basic plays, like quick outs and quick this, and I just don't get it.
Big Ben Roethlisberger, a lot of noise about this should be it for him. He's going to count about $41 million against the cap next year, et cetera, et cetera. They wondering about him right now. Clearly, he's not mobile, can't shrug off defenders the way he used to. Do you think it's time for Big Ben to retire, or do you still want to hold on to him for at least another season?
I think that decision is up to Ben. I mean, we love everything he's done for the organization from the moment he came in to where he at now. He's always played with heart. He's always played to win. And, if it's up to Ben, he's our quarterback. And, we could take it as we get it. If he decides to come back and he feels like he wants to play in the team, brings him back, kudos. If he decides to retire, we appreciate you for your services. It's all about what he wants to do. And I'm on point with that because I'm a diehard Steeler, and I feel like he gave his all while he was on top of his game, and now that he's not on the top of the game. If he wants to go out like a champ, I think retirement makes the best sense. But if not, if he wants to come back and try to win it, I'm with that as well.
Let me switch to transition to another sport because I know you are a man of many talents, Snoop Dogg. We all know this, but we recently saw you giving boxing analysis. You were commentating on a boxing match when Roy Jones Jr. fought Iron Mike Tyson. Obviously, we saw Nate Robinson suffer a loss that obviously a lot of people have been talking about. You stole the show, even though Sugar Ray Leonard and Israel Adesanya for the UFC were doing color commentary. You stole the show. I mean, is that in your future, Snoop Dogg? You want to be a boxing analyst now?
Well, Steven, I just want to be able to bring fun to everything that I do. And that's what I've, been labeled as lately, as the life of the party or the fun guy. So, being an analyst in boxing, I really understand boxing. I know the dynamics of it and the structure of it and what it's supposed to look like and what it's supposed to sound like. So every opportunity that I get, Stephen A., I make the most of it and I make sure I have fun while I'm doing it.
Knowing you the way that I do, you've always had a bigger vision per se. You've never been one to want to be pigeonholed and marginalized in any way. Can you enlighten our audience about what your vision has always been about you and how it's really developed over the years into what you've become today?
Well, the vision that I see myself being in as a fun guy, a teacher, a mentor, a father, a husband, a grandfather, a friend. But all of these titles have been grown into. I had to grow into these titles because I wasn't none of that in the beginning. I was just a young, courageous rapper who was, happy to be in the rap game. And then once I learned how to master me and how to learn myself and how to love myself and how to give more love, and how to erase the hate by putting love in the air, that helped me become a better person, better father, better human being, better leader, better football coach, just a better person in general. And I attribute that to just being one who wants to show love and give love despite all of the negative that's in the world. You can't match negative with negative. You got to be smarter than that, and you got to be one who chooses to put peace and love in the air. And that's what I've been able to do. And that's why I've been able to last so long and be on the right side, because I put the right energy in the world.
I'll ask you about the advice that you would try to impart upon the world at this particular moment in time, only from this perspective. On so many occasions when we're talking about sports, when you and I rap about sports, you ain't just talking about the stuff that happens on the court of play or on the field of play. You might point out how guys need to know how to way to maneuver themselves through the terrain of this world, the corporate America world, the sports world that obviously involves corporate America. Some of the pitfalls that you see guys suffering through and suffering from, you want to impart words upon wisdom of them throughout all of these times we've talked about these things. As you look at the sports landscape today, particularly in the aftermath of social justice issues and things of that nature having gone on over the last few months, what kind of words of wisdom would you like to give to the younger generation of cats out there who are still out there performing, playing, and trying to make more of themselves than they already are?
Well, the main goal is to stay focused and to love what you do. If you love what you do, it's never going to be about money. It's going to be about the passion if you loving what you do. And the circle of friends that you have is going to be very important as well, because as you grow, you'll start to distance yourself from people who aren't on the same page as you, and some of them are family and friends. Then you got to understand that when you're doing business, that you're in a business, that you're not a rapper, you're not an entertainer, so you can't do the things that rappers and entertainers do. You have a commissioner, you have a president, you have someone who you have to answer to, a team owner, a coach. We don't have nobody to answer to, so you guys have to be very smart with how you move and who you move with, and how you plan in your future, how you plan on doing different things outside of your sport when your career is over. Do you want to be an analyst? Do you want to do commercials? Do you want to be a part of the league that you're in? Do you want to be an owner? These things that you're doing now will affect that in the future.